We have been lucky enough to be invited along to the very final stages of aero testing the brand new Kask Valegro helmet, which Team Sky are using for the first ever time at this year's Tour de France. Now, behind me is the Loughborough University Aeronautics Technology wind tunnel. It's huge. I've no idea what to expect from a helmet testing day. I've never been to a wind tunnel before, but I'm fascinated to find out what goes on. Let's take a look. So we're joined by Carsten Jefferson from Team Sky, who's had a big hand in the Kask Valegro project. Carsten, when did the project for this helmet start?
We started talking about a light, really well ventilated helmet already in the Tour 2014. So really from that time on, the idea was there, and we spoke to our longtime partner Kask about what could we do, and we're looking at different things, and yeah, now finally we're getting there.
This project's taken almost 3 years, so is that a typical length of the projects that you work on with the team and with the partners?
I can guarantee you we are pushing hard, but yeah, and we would have liked it a year and a half ago, but yeah, sometimes things just takes a little bit longer than we expect. Almost every time it takes a little bit longer. There's always things that comes up, and we also want to, have we looked at this? Have we looked at that? Is it, could we do it a little bit better? So I think it's our own fault sometimes.
Can you quantify the sort of benefit that a helmet like this might give on a hilly stage? Is it 1%, 0.5%, something like that?
Now we're in the middle of testing. We are here at Loughborough at the wind tunnel today to see where we're at, and I must admit we are a little bit surprised with the aero part of it. It's better than we expected it to, but obviously there is the cooling effect that it has been spot on, and a big improvement. So yeah.
Big benefits.
Big benefits, and obviously weight as well. Carrying a helmet that's X amount of grams lighter for 250k stage in the mountains, that makes a difference.
So Kask have actually got a couple of days here at this wind tunnel. So what that means is that they can test, and test again. So behind me, they're just making a few modifications to the Valegro just to see if it can get a little bit more aerodynamic without losing any of the cooling properties and without gaining too much weight. And this is a process that they will repeat possibly tens of times a day during the testing process. So what can we see on the screen here, John?
So this is the outputs we get from the CFD simulations we did of the Valegro. So basically the yellow areas here are where the heat transfer coefficient, which is the amount of energy that's being emitted from the surface. So on this helmet you can see we've got really good cooling around the front of the head, because the head sweats most at the front. So obviously humans have evolved to cool most at the front, but then also at the lower speed it's important to have cooling around the back as well.
So it's an incredibly complex thing with a load of variables to consider at every stage, basically.
Yeah, lots of things to consider. I mean, obviously, first and foremost, it's a crash protection device, and that really influences a lot of the decisions that are taken in the design process. From an aerodynamics perspective, you would like to make it thinner, but it's got to do its first job. So.
So the brief from Team Sky was to create a super lightweight, cool climbing helmet. And Kask came up with the Valegro, and this is phase 0. So in phase 0, we've got the 3 hand-drawn sketches. From phase 1, we go to phase 2, where we've cut down from 4 potential designs of the Valegro to 2. We then go from phase 2, obviously, to phase 3, where again, we've still got 2 potential designs here. And then from phase 3, we go to these. And now this is phase 4, which is the final design of the Kask Valegro. And actually, just over here, we have got, fresh from the wind tunnel test dummy, a mould of the final design of the Valegro. But why are we even at a wind tunnel if the brief from Team Sky was just to make a lightweight, cool climbing helmet? Let's speak to Kask and find out. So Luca, what's the answer?
Well, the answer is that we have to consider the speed that Team Sky athletes carry on climbs, which is totally different from the speed that we carry. And of course, also after climbs, there are downhills, and between climbs there must be some flat bits where aerodynamic is really important. And the most important reason why we are studying the aerodynamics of this helmet is because the final purpose of it is to be used by a huge amount, hopefully, of people, of cyclists around the world in any possible condition.
When do you bring this helmet into the wind tunnel? So we've seen all these designs, so from phase 0 through to phase 4. At which point does it start getting wind tunnel tested?
Well, we want to make sure that when we go to the wind tunnel, we have already performed a bunch of CFD testing, so simulation on a computer, so that we are kind of sure that we are in the right direction, but then the real wind tells you different things sometimes. So we are ready to modify the shape, to change aspects of the helmet to improve the aerodynamic, the real aerodynamic in the end.
And is there any real-world testing that you can do?
So yes, of course. Then the final green light will be given by riders. So hopefully everything will work out because the time is tight also in these projects. But we're always ready to modify anything that is possible.
From the wind tunnel at Loughborough University to right here in the GCN set, we have got the final boxed Kask Valegro helmet. And it's so light that it's hard to believe there's actually a helmet inside this box. But there is. Here it is, the finished Kask Valegro. Incredibly light. It's actually very thin as well, despite what John Pittman was saying about wanting to make it thinner for lightweight, heat dissipation, aerodynamics. I think this is a very thin helmet. Fits very tightly on the head too. It's going to be interesting to see just how much the Team Sky riders do choose to use this helmet at the Tour this year. Now, from the GCN set, back to me, dribbling in a wind tunnel at Loughborough University. So there we go, an absolutely fascinating look. It's quite windy in here, trying not to cry. At the process of Kask just optimizing their Valegro, which is their new lightweight and cool climbing helmet. And of course, because of the speed that professional cyclists climb at, it also needs to be incredibly aero too. To see a video where we explore the benefits of aerodynamics on a climb, just click right there, my eyes. And to see a video where we explore the effect of body weight while you're climbing, click down there. And to subscribe to GCN, click on the globe.